Hello everybody and welcome to another UltraGrow Nutri-Minute. I'm Rich Krebs. If you can see my breath this morning, that means one thing: it's chilly in February in California. So our perennial crops now are starting to look for ways to get energy. We're putting tomatoes in the ground. It is bloom time for almonds. You have to make sure that your N&P is right. That means one of two things: you either did a great job post-harvest in getting nitrogen and phosphorus into the plant, or you've got to do a good job of getting phosphorus in right now, early, into a plant to make that energy happen. So there's only two ways to make that work. There's a polyphosphate and there's an orthophosphate. Poly is a very large chain. It needs to be broken down before it can actually get into a plant. If it is cold, that's going to take 100 days. When you get warm later in the season, it might be 4 days where a poly chain will break down, or you've got adequate biology eating it up. But one way to ensure you get the right phosphorus into a plant early is with an orthophosphate. With UltraGrow's 217-17 or 816-8, 714-7, we are 100% orthophosphate, also then driven with some nitrogen and some potassium to move nutrients. So a very well balanced approach. And we've also got a micronutrient package that makes sure we've got all the enzymes right to move all the nutrients we need to move. With phosphorus, we're trying to make adenosine triphosphate. That is where energy comes from. Triphosphate, it is very heavily phosphate driven. Goes around the Krebs cycle a few times, and that is creating energy. So without getting too scientific, it's important to get your P right early. So make sure you've got adequate orthophosphate in the right place, at the right time, and at the right rate, which means don't over apply. If typically you put on 10% of your phosphorus compared to your nitrogen number in the course of a season, if let's say you used 100 units, you're going to need 10 units. If you're applying 15 or 20 units early in the season, how can you ever use that much in a plant? And anything you put on in excess that doesn't get used up in heavy soils, high in calcium, that's just going to tie right back up with the calcium that's excess in the soil as well. So for the price of one nutrient, you just completely made two nutrients completely unavailable. So you've got to make sure you get that right. Start early, start light, keep it in the root zone, and make sure what you put on your crops actually gets into your crops. The way to do that, 100% orthophosphate from UltraGrow. For UltraGrow, I'm Rich Krebs.